Hi everybody, this is Rune. Welcome to this tutorial where we're going to start a plan drawing of a house. First off, let me show you what house we're going to be drawing. This is the villa we'll be drawing today. It's an iconic Danish villa designed by architect Knud Friis in 1958. Right now it's a listed building. It's actually a building you can go visit, but it's very beautiful and has this upper story with the concrete box placed on top, looking out over the lake, and then with this inner courtyard. As a base for our drawing, we'll use this original 1958 pencil drawing, showing all the measurements and layout of the house as it was built. I put the download link on screen, but I also put it in the description below, so you can download it and follow along. Now let's get back to Rhino. The first thing we'll have to do is import the picture. In order to do that, we're going to use the picture command. So I'm going to go out into the command line and I'm going to type picture, and then I will open my drawing. I'll select my file and click open. You can see I have to put in the picture. It wants me to place the first corner and then the other corner. So I'm just going to click randomly here. And since it's a plan drawing, we'll be drawing it in top view. So I'm just going to double click top and maximize the top view. Now this is a good time to talk about scale, because in a CAD program, which Rhino is, we'll always be drawing our things in scale. But this picture is not in scale, or of course it is the paper on the piece of paper, it is in scale, but on our computer it's not in scale. So we'll have to find a reference on this image and then scale it up. We're going to be looking at the plan drawing today. So I'm just going to zoom in so that I have this plan drawing. It's the one in the bottom left corner of the drawing. And you can see that I have a bunch of different measurements here. The one I'm going to use is the one from this corner to this corner, which I know to be 12.72 meters. I should just say that if you're following along from abroad, the comma in Danish is a decimal point. So this means 12.72 meters. Also, most of the measurements are in centimeters, not meters. And I don't know why they didn't put it on the drawing, but hey ho, they didn't. So just take my word for it that this is 12.72 meters. And this is 225 centimeters. Now, in order to get my scale right, I actually want to draw a single line from there to there and then scale it up. To find my line tool, I have to go over here and hover over the polyline button and then expand it and then click single line. Once I have my line tool selected, I'm just going to zoom in here a bit and click as precisely as I can on this drawing on this point. And then I'm gonna go over here and now I've run into a problem. You can see that the line follows the cursor, but it only follows it along this same axis all the time. That's because I have a setting called ortho turned on. So down here, I have this setting called ortho. I'm just gonna turn it off, and now you can see I can freely draw my line. I'm gonna click here. What ortho does is it makes it so that we can only draw orthogonally. That's very handy later on because our building is very rectilinear. But for this purpose, I'm just going to have to turn it off. We'll have to turn it on again later. So I'm just going to zoom out. Now we have a curve here on top of our drawing. I'm going to click the curve and see Rhino wasn't sure whether I wanted to select the curve or the surface, which is the image below. So it gives me that little selection menu. I'm going to select curve here. I want this curve to be 12.72 meters long. So I want to scale that line up, but I also want to scale up the drawing so that it fits with the line. So I'm actually going to zoom out here, and then I'm going to click and drag to select both my curve and my drawing. So now I have both things selected here. Then I'm going to zoom in again, and I'm going to type the scale command, S-C-A-L-E, scale, and enter. And then I'm going to select the base point at this end of the curve, and I'm going to select the base point at this end of the curve. And now I'm going to say that I want that to be 12.72 meters long. And it looks all weird, but I'm just going to press enter. And then remember our zoom to extends command, Z-E, enter. And now you can see the whole drawing again. I'm just going to select this line, and we're just going to do a test. Select my line, and then I'm going to write length And now it's 12 meters and 72 centimeters, or 12,720 millimeters. Same thing. So we're just going to go zoom selected. Now remember how we had to draw this line a little bit slanted so that it fit with the drawing. We want to rotate our drawing so that line is actually totally straight on the x-axis. So I'm going to turn on ortho again down here. Now I'm going to zoom extents, and then I'm going to select everything. Now I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going to write rotate, and I'm going to click here. And then I'm going to click my first reference point, which is the end of the curve. Because I have ortho on, you can see that it snaps to these directions. That's 90 degrees. So I'm just going to click here. Now my drawing should be square. So I'm going to let you in on a little secret, and that is that this background drawing that we're using is actually not totally accurate. So we'll have to use it as a baseline, but we're going to have to think critically and sometimes look at some of the dimensions instead of just drawing blindly on top of the drawing. The last thing I want to do in this video, now that our drawing is scaled and rotated into place, is that I don't want to accidentally move this around. So like I could accidentally drag it around. That would be really bad. I'm just going to undo that with Control Z. So how do I do that? Well, while I have my drawing selected, I'm just going to type in the command lock. Now, no matter what I do, I can't move or select my drawing. If at any point I need to move my drawing again, I can just type unlock. So I'm just going to lock it one more time. Lock, enter, and then I'm going to zoom selected to my curve. All right, this will be the starting point for our plan drawing. Follow along in the next video where we're going to draw the walls of the ground floor. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye.